What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my Live and Ready review and stuff like that. The album I'm about to review tonight, well, this morning, excuse me, is Jay-Z's. Well, I would call it Jay-Z and the Roots with Unplugged. Released in 2001 on Rockefeller. This was released about 3 months after the Blueprint, which I've done a review on a while back ago. Yeah. Okay. So by this time, you guys should know who Jay-Z is. And the Roots, I've never really talked about the Roots like that, but I'll give them like a brief history and shit like that. The Roots were this Philadelphia hip hop group, hip hop band and shit like that. Um, by this time, by this time they had already dropped how many albums? About 4 albums and a live album. And so they were already, people already knew of them. Things Fall Apart where their breakout was like the breakout album and shit like that, their breakthrough album. And yeah, so Jay-Z basically liked how they sounded and he brought them, to ask them to perform at this Unplugged. Now, I already reviewed an Unplugged episode which was Nirvana's, in my personal opinion, I feel like that's the single best episode of Unplugged. I know a lot of people want to say the Eric Clapton episode, which was cool, but it was alright. It was alright, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to this album. Okay, so most of the songs off this album, but most songs off this album were from the Blueprint, of course. But at the same time, he did have some of his classic songs and shit like that. This is the album cover right here. Yeah, I think this was like when he was doing his little poetry thing and shit like that. Of course, you see like Questlove in the background. Yeah, so of course, it wouldn't be a Rockefeller without them saying coming soon. And right here it says coming soon, State Property, Cameron, which I'm assuming that's the Come Home With Me album, which in my opinion is his best album. I don't care what no one says. Rel the Remedy, I don't know if that came out. Freeway, I think it's the first album. What was it called? Philadelphia something. I don't know. I forgot. Memphis Bleak, Sparks and Oshino, Chris and Neef, Alan Anthony, and DJ Clue. And of course, you have Rockefeller Films present State Property, the movie, dope movie. Paid in Full, love that movie. Paper Soldiers, which features a young Kevin Hart and shit like that before he was famous, before he became obnoxious as hell. Yeah, that's the Kevin Hart I like. When he had his breakthrough, I mean, his stand up. I'm sorry, but his stand up is weak. He's like a better actor, but back in the day, he was not as overexposed as shit. But yeah, that's another story for a different day. Yeah, like pictures of Jay. Right here, you got right there all that shit. I think this is Pharrell, him and Pharrell. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so it consists of like old material, but there's like one somewhat new song, which I'm gonna talk about in a minute. So since this is like a live review of songs that I've already covered, like all the songs I've covered, technically it's not gonna be a long review. I'm just gonna skim through which songs I liked in the live performance and shit. So yeah. So track number 1, Izzo, H to the Izzo. Okay, track number 1, H to the Izzo and shit. Pretty dope coverage. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get comfortable and shit. Yeah, I know you guys are used to my Raleigh place having like a desk, but the desk broke, so since I got this webcam, it's standing up against the wall. So guys, just bear with me. I'm sorry about that. Track number 1 is HOVA. Dope live performance. This one's like a lot more soulful and shit like that. I like the little spoken word poetry he started off in the beginning. Then track number 2, Takeover, which in my opinion, that was like the highlight of the whole Unplugged. Because not only, see, he was dissing these niggas, and the Roots were playing like Shook Ones and New York City Mind respectively and shit like that. I just thought that was pretty clever. That was pretty. It was funny as hell though, but. And speaking of like Nas, I think if I'm not mistaken, this album was released the same day as Stillmatic and shit like that. And of course, you guys should know about the little beef. I mentioned the beef on this channel. Stay tuned when I review Stillmatic sometime next year and shit like that. Yeah, man, very dope live performance of Takeover. The Girls. I like this version more than the studio version. I've always liked that. Of course, Heart of the City, Ain't No Love. Again, I like this more soulful rendition of that. Can't Knock the Hustle, feature Mary J. Blige / Family Affair. Very dope performance right there. Like, anytime Jay and Mary perform that song, it always gives me goosebumps and shit. I don't know why. And you guys should know Family Affair was from her No More Drama album. Dope album, by the way. I definitely did do a Mary J. Blige breakdown and shit. But yeah, very dope, very dope, very dope. Let me see. And I know I mentioned that there was this one song I do want to talk about called People Talking. Which was like a hidden track. Dope song right there. In that song, you can tell he was talking about Nas on that song and shit. Just talking about like people gossiping about him. Ski Beats did that beat for that song, and that was actually the last time, believe it or not, him and Jay-Z worked together and shit like that. And it's kind of a shame though, but some of the lyrics right here was just like, hold on. Come on. Let's do this. I'm just a mirror reflecting your image. The minute you switch up your face, I pick up the pace. There's nothing to it. Pull hammers from my waist. We can clap at this amateur pace if that's what's cracking, or we can play this on all Madden. Like, it was just like, you was definitely talking about Nas and shit like that. Especially when he said that line, "Come and get me," which a lot of people kind of figured that was like throwing subliminal shots at Nas, but yeah. Overall, this was a very dope live album. There's not really much to say about the Unplugged album. It's a very good live album. I always consider like a loungier blueprint in terms of production, but it wasn't without its controversy because I was reading somewhere that Nas, he didn't like the fact that the Roots, were doing this with Jay-Z and shit like that. And he felt like, he called, hold on, let me pause this. He called the Roots house niggas because they were bamboozled as a group, the Alabama Porch Monkeys, because he felt like Jay-Z and the Roots, they stood for two different things and some shit like that. So, yeah, man, I think him and Black Dot I think they squashed the beef now, but I'm not too sure about that. Because, those were the only cats the Roots had beef with, but that's another story for a different day. Yeah, man, Jay-Z Unplugged, dope album and shit. If you can find it, must have in your collection. And after that, I have a couple of announcements I was going to make. I have a lot of live reviews coming. I'm trying to have a lot of things to do before the end of this year. Come on, Wi-Fi. So yeah, I have a few announcements I'm gonna make. By the way, I want to give a special birthday shout out to my homeboy, my main ace, Mike Sears and shit like that. Just want to give a birthday shout out. Hope you living it up and shit. I also want to definitely give a shout out to the Speak Clout family. This upcoming Sunday at midnight, well Monday technically. Speak Clout, we're going to definitely review Marley Marl's In Control volumes, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So it's going to be history because this is some reviews I've been waiting to do for at least months now. Because no one done a review on these albums yet, and every time I like to be the first to do some shit. I like to be the first to do some shit. So yeah, and definitely with Mike and Steven and Try there, it's gonna be a hella show you can't miss. Alright, what else? The 26th of November, is gonna be the beginning of my sitcom retrospective. So me and Mike Sears are gonna talk about, review good times and shit. Talk about season's favorite episodes. So that's gonna be a good laugh. Right? Also this upcoming week, me and my homeboy Tribero, we're gonna review Madonna's Like a Prayer. Yes, you guys heard that right. Definitely gonna do Madonna's Like a Prayer. I believe that's gonna be the 27th. So, and also this upcoming 29th is gonna be the also I'm gonna review Puff Daddy's Forever album. So it's gonna be part of my new series called Trash Hip Hop Shit Don't Bang. That's gonna be the pilot. So, oh, Lord have mercy, bear with me. And finally, I know I was originally gonna review. Oh shit! Yeah, fuck up right now. I like that. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. Ugh. Okay. I know I was really gonna review start coverage of Nas's albums this week, but I just had to do something different. Just definitely decided to do something different. I am going to talk about, before the year's over, I'm going to talk about Foxy Brown's discography. I'm definitely going to talk about Foxy Brown's discography because I felt like, a certain someone who I'm going to call nameless feels like I don't like Foxy or I sleep on Foxy and shit like that, which is not true because I love Foxy Brown. But I do have to speak my piece on that statement. So I will definitely be reviewing Il Na Na either this upcoming week, or next week. So stay tuned on that. And I'm going to do China Doll too, so stay tuned on that as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things I got to do before the year is over. So, and I was going to save this until later on, but New Year's Eve is finally, I'm going to do the Songs in the Key of Life review. After that, I'm going to take about a 3-week break. So that's why I'm trying to get everything done at a certain point. So yeah, thank you guys for being with me. As usual, this is your boy Reg. Peace.